Life isn't waiting for anyone. Every day you hesitate. Every time you say, I'm sorry for being who you are, you give away a piece of your strength. We live in a world where people are taught to apologize for taking up space, for dreaming too big, for being too loud, for wanting more. But here's the truth. You don't owe anyone an apology for chasing your goals. You owe it to yourself to move forward with confidence, clarity, and courage. One of the biggest barriers to personal growth is the constant need for validation from others. Many people spend their lives trying to please everyone around them. Parents, friends, colleagues, or society at large. They shape their choices to fit expectations rather than their own desires. But when you live for approval, you lose control of your direction. Every yes that isn't true to your heart takes you one step further from your purpose. Seeking approval becomes a cage made of invisible bars, comfortable at first, but suffocating over time. Real freedom begins the moment you decide to trust your own instincts, even if no one else understands them. When you stop seeking approval, you start discovering your authentic voice. You begin to act from a place of truth rather than fear. You no longer wait for others to clap before you take the stage. Instead, you give yourself permission to shine. The greatest innovators, leaders, and visionaries didn't ask for permission. They believed in their vision long before the world did. Approval is temporary, but self-respect lasts forever. When you stop craving validation, you gain the kind of peace that no amount of praise can replace. People may not always understand your journey, and that's perfectly fine. Your goals, your pace, and your dreams are meant for you, not for everyone else's approval. Those who truly matter will support you without demanding that you shrink to fit their standards. The truth is, the more you try to win everyone's approval, the less you'll recognize yourself. It's okay to disappoint others in the pursuit of being true to yourself. Discomfort and misunderstanding are part of growth. They signal that you're stepping out of the mold and into your individuality. Approval is addictive because it offers temporary comfort. But relying on it means your happiness is in someone else's hands. The moment you break free from that need, you begin to move with confidence and purpose. You learn to validate yourself, celebrate your progress, and keep going even without applause. When your actions are guided by self-trust rather than external praise, your energy changes. It becomes stronger, more focused, and unstoppable. Ambition is not something to hide or apologize for. It is the fire that keeps your spirit alive. Yet many people are conditioned to tone it down, fearing that being ambitious will make them seem arrogant or selfish. Society often praises modesty, but quietly discourages those who dream too big. However, ambition is not about arrogance. It's about potential. It's about recognizing that you were meant for more than mediocrity. And when you embrace your ambition, you give yourself permission to imagine a future beyond limitations, to set goals that challenge your comfort zone, and to chase visions that others might find impossible. It is ambition that transforms what if into I did it. Embracing ambition means understanding that wanting more doesn't make you ungrateful for what you already have. It means being thankful for today while still reaching for a greater tomorrow. True ambition isn't fueled by greed, it's powered by purpose. It drives you to learn, evolve, and explore new possibilities. It's a mindset that keeps you pushing forward, even when progress feels slow or obstacles appear endless. Those who dare to be ambitious understand that every great achievement begins with the courage to say, I can do more. They refuse to settle for comfort when growth is within reach. Too often, people suppress their ambition because they fear judgment or rejection. They downplay their dreams to make others feel comfortable or to avoid being misunderstood. But the truth is, ambition should never be silenced. It should be nurtured. The world advances because of those who dare to think bigger. Every invention, breakthrough, and success story came from someone who refused to let fear silence their drive. When you fully embrace your ambition, you stop seeing yourself as too much and start realizing you are exactly enough. Powerful, capable, and deserving of greatness. Embracing ambition is not a one-time decision. It's a daily commitment. It means waking up each day with a renewed sense of purpose and taking consistent action toward your dreams. It's understanding that ambition may make your journey harder, but it will also make your victories more meaningful. It's about being unapologetic in your pursuit of excellence, no matter how long it takes. Every step you take in alignment with your ambition shapes you into the person you're meant to become, resilient, driven, and unstoppable. Dreams remain dreams until action brings them to life. Many people spend years talking about what they want to do, but only a few actually take the steps to make it happen. Excuses often sound convincing: lack of time, fear of failure, or waiting for the right moment. But the truth is, the perfect time never comes. Every day you delay action, you lose momentum and confidence. Progress doesn't come from thinking or planning alone. It comes from doing. Even the smallest step forward holds more value than 1,000 excuses. Action is the bridge that connects imagination to reality. And without it, potential remains just a possibility. When you choose to act, you create movement. And movement creates energy. The moment you start doing something, your focus shifts from fear to progress. You begin to see results, however small, and those results fuel motivation to keep going. It's a chain reaction of growth. On the other hand, excuses create stagnation. They trap you in a cycle of overthinking, regret, and self-doubt. The more you act, the more capable you feel, and soon you realize that action itself becomes your greatest teacher. Taking action doesn't mean you won't make mistakes. In fact, action invites failure. But that's exactly where the lessons lie. Every mistake teaches you something valuable that hesitation never could. You refine your path by doing, not by waiting. Those who succeed are not necessarily the smartest or the most talented. They are the ones who kept moving when others stopped to make excuses. They understand that progress is imperfect. But every imperfect step forward is still progress. What separates dreamers from achievers is not intelligence, luck, or resources. It's the willingness to take consistent, courageous action. Excuses are easy because they protect you from discomfort. They give you a reason to stay where you are instead of facing the unknown. But comfort is the enemy of growth. The moment you choose action over excuses, you reclaim your power. You stop being a spectator of your own life and start becoming the author of it. Every decision, every effort, and every movement counts. Because even the smallest action, when repeated with purpose, builds momentum strong enough to change your entire direction. Mistakes are often viewed as signs of weakness or failure. But in truth, they are the most powerful teachers life can offer. Every mistake carries within it a lesson that cannot be learned through success alone. When you make a mistake, it means you had the courage to try, to step outside your comfort zone, and to take action. People who fear making mistakes often end up paralyzed by perfectionism, never realizing that failure is a necessary part of learning. It's through mistakes that we gain wisdom, resilience, and humility. They reveal what doesn't work, guiding us toward what does. Without mistakes, there would be no innovation, no discovery, and no true personal growth. Learning to embrace your mistakes means shifting your mindset from shame to understanding. Instead of asking, why did this happen to me, start asking, what can I learn from this? Every setback contains a seed of improvement, if you're willing to look for it. Growth doesn't happen in moments of comfort or certainty. It happens in the chaos of trial and error. When you give yourself permission to fail, you also give yourself permission to grow. Mistakes remind us that progress is not linear. It's filled with twists, turns, and detours that shape who we become. They don't define your worth, they refine your path. Many people hide from mistakes because they fear judgment from others. They believe that failure will make them appear incapable or unworthy. But in reality, everyone fails. The only difference is how we respond to it. Those who succeed are the ones who see mistakes as data, not defeat. They analyze what went wrong, make adjustments, and move forward stronger than before. Every successful entrepreneur, artist, or leader has a trail of mistakes behind them. But they chose to learn instead of quit. It's not the absence of mistakes that determines success. It's the ability to rise after them that builds character and confidence. When you accept mistakes as part of your journey, you free yourself from the impossible demand of perfection. You stop fearing the unknown and start exploring it with curiosity. Every mistake becomes an opportunity to grow in wisdom, patience, and skill. You begin to appreciate the process as much as the outcome, realizing that mastery is built through repetition and correction. Growth doesn't come from doing things right all the time. It comes from having the courage to do them wrong, learn from it, and keep going. Perfection is a trap that keeps countless people from ever starting. Many believe they must have everything figured out before taking action, the right skills, timing, resources, or approval. But perfection is an illusion, a moving target that keeps shifting as you chase it. Confidence, on the other hand, is real and powerful. It's the belief that you can move forward even when things aren't perfect. When you wait for perfection, you waste time preparing instead of progressing. Confidence allows you to take that first step, trusting that you'll learn along the way. Every expert was once a beginner who dared to act before feeling ready. Confidence is not about never doubting yourself. It's about moving forward despite the doubt. It's about having faith in your ability to adapt, learn, and overcome. The more you act, the more your confidence grows, because experience becomes your greatest proof. When you rely on perfection, you create pressure that paralyzes you. But when you rely on confidence, you create freedom. Freedom to try, fail, and improve. Confidence isn't built through endless preparation or planning. It's built through repetition, through showing up, even when conditions aren't ideal. It's in those imperfect attempts that real progress begins. Those who chase perfection often find themselves stuck in comparison, measuring their journey against someone else's highlight reel. This mindset breeds insecurity and hesitation. But confidence teaches you to focus inward, to trust your unique process instead of mirroring others. It reminds you that success is not about flawless execution, but about consistent effort. Confidence lets you celebrate small wins and recognize growth in every step, even when outcomes aren't ideal. It tells you that you are enough, even while you're still evolving. Confidence replaces the fear of judgment with the pride of authenticity. When you prioritize confidence over perfection, you begin to move with purpose instead of fear. You stop waiting for the right time because you realize the right time is always now. Confidence transforms obstacles into opportunities and mistakes into lessons. It teaches you that progress is messy, but it's also meaningful. Every moment of doubt you overcome strengthens your foundation. Confidence doesn't promise perfection, it promises progress. It's the quiet voice inside you saying, I may not have all the answers yet, but I am capable of finding them. Self-doubt is one of the most powerful obstacles that can stand between you and your potential. It whispers lies that make you question your worth, your abilities, and your dreams. It convinces you that you're not ready, not talented enough, or not deserving of success. But self-doubt is nothing more than fear in disguise. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, and fear of stepping into your own greatness. The truth is, everyone experiences doubt, even the most successful people. The difference is that they don't let it control their actions. They acknowledge it, then move forward anyway. To silence self-doubt, you must learn to replace that inner critic with an inner coach. A voice that encourages you to keep going even when the path feels uncertain. Silencing self-doubt begins with awareness. You must recognize the patterns of negative self-talk that limit your confidence. Every time you catch yourself thinking, I can't, challenge it with, why not me? Replace self-criticism with self-compassion. Instead of focusing on what you lack, remind yourself of how far you've come. Every small achievement, every challenge you've survived is proof of your resilience. The mind believes what you repeatedly tell it. So speak words that strengthen you, not ones that weaken your spirit. When you start treating yourself as your own ally rather than your enemy, your mindset transforms, and so does your life. Self-doubt thrives in comparison. The more you measure yourself against others, the more you lose sight of your unique path. It's easy to believe others have it easier or are more talented. But every person has their own battles behind the scenes. You can't see their struggles, just as they can't see yours. Instead of comparing your journey, focus on your progress. Celebrate your growth, no matter how small it seems. Confidence isn't about having no fear. It's about trusting yourself despite it. When you stop comparing and start appreciating your individuality, self-doubt loses its power over you. To truly silence self-doubt, you must take action, because action breeds confidence. The more you move forward, the more evidence you collect that you are capable. Each step, each effort, each little victory builds your belief in yourself. The mind quiets when you prove it wrong through experience. Self-doubt can't survive in motion. It feeds on hesitation and overthinking. So instead of waiting until you feel confident to begin so you can feel confident. Every time you push past fear and act in faith, you strengthen your courage. Over time, the voice of doubt becomes smaller, while your self-belief grows stronger and louder. Owning your journey means taking full responsibility for your life, your choices, your direction, and your progress. It's easy to blame circumstances, other people, or even luck for where you are. But true empowerment begins when you stop pointing fingers and start taking ownership. Every decision you make shapes your path, and every action you take builds your story. When you own your journey, you stop waiting for someone to save you or show you the way. You realize that your growth, success, and happiness are in your hands. This sense of ownership brings clarity and confidence, because it reminds you that you are not powerless. You are the author of your life's narrative. Taking ownership also means accepting your past without letting it define your future. Everyone has made mistakes, faced setbacks, or taken wrong turns. But those moments are chapters, not conclusions. They are lessons meant to guide you, not barriers meant to stop you. When you take responsibility, you transform pain into purpose. You stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstance and start seeing yourself as the creator of opportunity. Owning your journey doesn't mean you control everything that happens. It means you control how you respond. Your response, your attitude, your mindset, your choices determines how far you will go. Owning your journey requires courage because it forces you to confront uncomfortable truths. It means acknowledging where you've held yourself back, where you've made excuses, and where you've been afraid to change. It's not always easy to face these truths, but doing so is the foundation of growth. When you take accountability, you gain power. You stop living reactively and start living intentionally. You begin to understand that the quality of your life is shaped by the decisions you make every single day. Responsibility isn't a burden, it's liberation. It gives you the freedom to choose your direction and the power to change your outcome. Most importantly, owning your journey means embracing it fully. The highs, the lows, the detours, and the lessons. No one else can walk your path or define what success means for you. The comparison to others' timelines only distracts you from your own progress. Every person's journey is unique, filled with moments meant only for them. When you own your journey, you walk with confidence. No matter how uncertain the road ahead may be, you stop trying to fit into someone else's map and start trusting the route you're creating. It's about honoring where you are, believing in where you're going, and knowing that every step, even the difficult ones, is part of your becoming. Life is too short to spend it apologizing for who you are or waiting for the perfect moment to begin. The truth is, progress doesn't come from hesitation. It comes from motion. Every bold step you take, every risk you embrace, and every time you choose courage over comfort, you move closer to the person you're meant to be. Stop letting fear, doubt and perfection hold you back from living the life that calls to you. The path ahead may not be easy, but it will always be worth it. So stand tall, believe in your strength, and take that first step, not tomorrow, not someday, but today. You owe it to yourself to live without apology, to grow without permission, and to move forward without fear. The world doesn't need you to be perfect. It needs you to be present, determined, and real. Remember, progress begins the moment you stop saying, "I'm sorry," and start saying, "I'm ready." Now is your time. Stop apologizing, start moving.